kind of a somber night on our part. Our last board meeting, we had Tim Hawkins sitting here with us. Tim passed away 10 days later. His funeral was on the 22nd of September, and the board attended that. It was a great funeral, and the Civic Center was full of people. Tim had been on the board for about 17 years. Tim had at one time dropped out of school, but he persevered to come back, get his diploma, go on to college at Appalachian State, and get a degree in accounting. His CPA experience has been extremely valuable to us on the board, and we will certainly miss Tim for a lot of reasons, but that's certainly one. He served on this board extremely well, and he relished every opportunity to serve and provide great opportunities for all of the children in Caldwell County. Some of you probably well know, some of you may not know, but Tim was also a preacher for a number of years. He was also an outstanding singer. If you ever had a chance to hear him sing, he was a very, very good singer. All of this in addition to being a CPA and being a businessman. I drove and Tim rode with me to go to a series of meetings in Nashville, Tennessee. He and I rode there, and we rode back together. You learn a lot about somebody when you're on the road with them for that period of time. I learned what he valued in life, and certainly at the top of the list would have to be his family that he dearly loved. He truly loved his wife, Shannon, and he was always telling each of us about his children that he was extremely proud of. Gabby, Simon, Nicholas, and Bella. He was always showing us videos or pictures about what they were doing. He was so very proud of each of them. He was proud of what they did athletically, and they were gifted athletically, and they were gifted academically as well. So Tim will be sorely missed on this Board of Education, and I just want to ask that we might continue to remember the family in our prayers as the days go by. Does anyone else have a comment?
It is with great respect that this board remembers Tim Hawkins with gratefulness tonight. Tim established earthly roots which will stretch far and wide for many years to come. And I say this for three specific reasons. First, he exhibited both dedication and a strong work ethic on this Board of Education. That demonstrated how much he valued a public education. The second reason is he exhibited thoughtful decision-making. In the small groups that we worked with, I was privy to see his strength in mathematical abilities and his mathematical intellect with numbers. And finally, I think it's something all of us realized, he had this tremendous, tremendous love for his family, for each of his children and his wife. In fact, the last meeting that we had, when we were sitting here, he came up and sat down beside me in this seat. handed me his phone to show me Bella singing a beautiful song on his video that his wife was playing on the piano. So with respect to his honor tonight, we are all grateful.
Tim was a true family man. It was a standing thing that when we asked for motion to dismiss, Tim was always the one that made the motion. It wasn't because we wanted the meeting to end, it was because we wanted to get home to his wife and children.
Tim Hawkins was a kind and gentle soul. He made a difference here in Caldwell County and for Caldwell County schools. The Civic Center was packed the day of his service that he had a hand in planning, and it was simply perfect. Please continue to remember Shannon and those 4 precious children in your prayers, and remember us as we continue our role in helping to lead Caldwell County schools.
So everything that's been said is absolutely correct. I can add one word. He was humble. He never boasted about all the accomplishments that you've heard. He exhibited them. You knew what he was and who he was and what kind of person he was. I was appointed to the board, and Tim, along with other board members, mentored me. I would ask them questions. I'd wear them out with questions, but he never lost patience in answering questions and giving me guidance. But after school board business was finished, with every one of us, and we all share our stories about our families, but I traveled with Tim, and I have 4 kids. He had 4 kids, so we shared experiences with the 4 kids and the different changes in every one of them and their personalities, and how that was a God blessing for them all to be different. One last thing that Tim would want us to do as a board, even though we will miss him dearly for personal reasons and as a school board member, he would want us to continue on the work that he's been part of and will continue to be part of. So that would be his challenge to us as a board, is to continue the work that we have going.
Tim was a dedicated husband and father, a committed board member. And I can say in the time that I knew him, there were 2 things that I never heard associated with Tim. I never heard anybody ever say a negative word about him. And probably more importantly, I never heard him say a negative word about anyone else. And even in death, I think his life and the way he lived is a great example for us to be as a role model.
I first had the privilege of getting to know Tim during the time that I served as school resource officer at High Brighton High School, where he was always attending athletic events and other things that his children were involved in. He was always easy to talk to, had an encouraging word, and always took the time to thank me for the work that I was doing there. One of the things that you've heard everybody mention, and I wanted to mention as well, was the one thing that I'll always remember about Tim is how much love he had for his family. And had mentioned the font. He always showed us pictures and videos, and it was always with just the biggest smile on his face each and every time. He was truly an example of a servant leader. As we continue to honor the life of Tim Hawkins, I want to ask that each of you join me for a moment of silence as we reflect on Tim's life, his service and education to Caldwell County, and what he meant to each of us. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bumgarner. Board members, Dr. Phipps. We're going to move along with the agenda here. Next is our Pledge of Allegiance to the flag. We have Hallie Winkler, Lily Arrowwood, and Olivia Martin. All are senior varsity cheerleaders at High Brighton High School this year. They are members of a cheerleading squad that last year received the North Carolina High School Athletic Association highest cumulative grade point average award given to the cheerleading squad in the state of North Carolina with the highest GPA. One of the most prestigious awards given out by the state association each year. So if you will please rise, we'll have the Pledge of Allegiance.
Attention, salute, pledge.
Thank you.
Thank you, Hallie, Lily, and Olivia. We appreciate it very much. And that's outstanding for y'all to have such a wonderful GPA for the entire squad. That is phenomenal. So congratulations on that. Next item on the agenda is approval of the agenda, and the board's had opportunity to review the agenda. At this time, do I hear a motion that we approve the agenda as has been presented?
I'll make the motion we approve the agenda as read.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there an addition you need to?
It should be there already.
Okay.
It's on there.
Any comments? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? And motion passes. Next is approval of the February 14th, 2019 special session minutes. So do I hear a motion that we approve those minutes as you've had opportunity to review?
Chairman Pendle, I move that we approve the February 14th special session minutes as presented.
Is there a second?
February.
Second.
February?
Is it February? It
Yeah.
says February.
February, what did I say?
It is.
It's written February.
Yeah, it is, correct. Second it. I do.
We got a second. These were from a previous month, yeah. So February is correct. They were not approved in March, so we're going back to February because of
Okay.
needing to get that little bit of business out of the way. Okay, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Next, we have approval of the September the 5th minutes, which were a work session and a closed session general account minutes. Do I hear a motion that we approve those minutes as presented?
I move we approve the minutes from the September 5th meeting.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. And the last set of minutes is from September 9th, a work session, a regular school board session, and a closed session general account. The minutes from that as well. So that those three sets of minutes from September 9th. Do I hear a motion that we approve all three sets of those minutes?
I'll make the motion we approve the minutes of September 9th, all three.
Is there a second?
I second the motion.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And motion passes. At this time, I'd like to turn it over to Mr. Joe Sims, who's going to give us some announcements.
Thank you. So on October 22nd, the school board is going to do their visits to Hudson Middle School, Sawmills, Granite Falls Elementary School, and Granite Falls Middle School. On October 25th will be an early release day for all the students. November the 4th, we will have a board work session at 8 a.m. here at the Ed Center. And then November the 12th, we're going to have a reception for South Caldwell State Championship softball team at 5 o'clock And then we'll follow that with our regular board, or a board meeting on November the 12th at 6 p.m. Thank you.
Okay, and Dr. Phipps, I think you have a few to add.
Couple, I'd like to let folks know that we received 2 grants, or notification of 2 grants that we received in the last couple of weeks. The first one would allow us to put Smithsonian science resources in all of our grade 3 through 5 classrooms. It's a project with the Smithsonian that we'll be working on. And then also a grant that's called CS for All, and it's having some of our teachers go to Appalachian State this summer, receive a $4,000 stipend for 4 weeks worth of work, providing room and board and food, and it would allow them to come back on campus next year and be able to teach AP computer science classes for our high schools. So we're excited about that. Also, you all know that this is kind of festival season. We have a lot of fall festivals, and I would encourage you to participate and attend those festivals in the schools where your children or grandchildren are, or in your neighborhood. They're a wonderful fundraising source that we have, and we encourage you to do that. And then an exciting thing for me, I found out today that the first testing work that's going to be done in terms of trying to do away with EOG testing and looking at other testing plans will happen in Raleigh on November the 12th. I'll be able to be there to be able to speak on behalf of Caldwell County and the western part of North Carolina, so I'm excited to be able to give you updates as we get that going on. So that's the first official meeting, and it means that we're making movement in the area, hopefully where we can end up with something better than the EOG plans that we have right now.
Dr. Phipps, how many people did you say would be eligible for that $4,000
There'll
stipend?
be 10 to 12 teachers
10
selected.
to 12 teachers.
And our
That's
folks are
wonderful.
aware of it, and hopefully we've had folks apply already.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Phipps. Next item on the agenda is our honors and recognitions that we all are looking forward to here. The board's going to move down to congratulate those, and Mrs. Libby Brown, School Community Relations Director, will be leading us in this segment of the agenda.
Chairman Pennell, Vice Chairman Branch, board members, and Dr. Phipps. It is always a pleasure to honor and recognize our students and our teachers in the Caldwell County Schools. And we're going to start with some joyful pictures to brighten our hearts up today, and that's what art does for us in many different ways of our lives. So it's a pleasure to have your students' artwork in our Education Center during the month of October. So you can look here on the screen at the children's artwork, and we're going to start with Davenport A+ School. Dabney Smith is the art teacher, so Dabney, if you'd like to come up. And Jessica Anthony is the principal, and I think Jessica is here, if you'd like to come up as well. And we have students whose artwork is here at the Education Center, so we can't wait to meet Natalie Carpenter. She is a 5th grader at Davenport A+ School, and here is her beautiful artwork. So let's get Kayleanna Green is a kindergartner, and Kayleanna's artwork was selected to be in the Education Center Art Gallery. So here comes Kayleanna. Yeah, you can come. Now, we want you to stay up here, okay? We're going to get a photograph, so we want all of you students to stay up with each of the schools. And Sophia Griffith. So Sophia is a 1st grader at Davenport A+ School. Mario Martinez Muniz. And Mario is a 5th grader at Davenport A+ School. I'm not sure if Mario is here this evening. Okay. How about Gabrielle Youngsmith? So it's, yes. Or maybe it's that. Would you like to do Lower Creek with this group, or just have it? Let's get a picture just of Davenport A-plus schools. So students, if you want to get in the center, there with the board members. If Miss Smith, yeah, and then parents, please feel free to come get a photograph. Okay, from Lower Creek Elementary School, we have Hannah Bryant, who is the art teacher, and Julia Lovett, who is principal. So if you'll come forward before your students, come up to be recognized. Okay, thank you. Musaid Ahmed is a kindergartner, and there, yes, there is his artwork. Very nice. Imani Alston is a third grader, and there is Imani. Kinsley Chapman. Kinsley is a fourth grader at Lower Creek. And Abigail Newton is a first grader at Lower Creek Elementary. There's Abigail. And Lindsay Reed. Lindsay Reed is a fifth grader. So here is Lindsay. So now it's time to picture time. If we can get our students in the center. Good job. Now we're going to middle school, and we have some middle school student artwork in our education center. William Lenore Middle School, and Lisa Vaughn is principal, and Leah Rhodes is the art teacher. So if they'd like to come up. We have Madeline Gall. She is a sixth grader. And Aiden Jones is a seventh grader. So I know I saw Aiden. Lena McDonald is a sixth grader. Keela Rivera Duran is a seventh grader. And Jerry, she is a sixth grader. So is Jerry here? Congratulations. Did you get everyone? Elementary students. So thank you. So please, parents, come back anytime and enjoy your students' artwork in our Education Center Art Gallery. Now we're going to still talk about elementary students. 612 students auditioned, and 207 were selected for prestigious North Carolina Elementary Honors Chorus. Congratulations to the 5 elementary students representing Caldwell County Schools in the North Carolina Elementary Chorus. From Baton Elementary, Morgan Hensley. She is a 5th grader. Morgan's music teacher is Emily Potter, and Jason Teefteller is her proud principal, who is here this evening. So if you'd like to come up with Morgan. Would you like for me to do all the elementary? Okay. And Granite Falls Elementary had 3 students. Elena Kubich, 4th grader. Aubrey Kernut, 5th grader. And Brianna Hefner, also a 5th grader. Chris Green is the principal. He cannot be here this evening, but their music teacher, Andrea Evans, is here to join her students. And we also had 1 student from Lower Creek Elementary School, Aubrey Norris, and this is her 2nd year in making the North Carolina Honors Chorus. So very, very good. Her music teacher is Landry Bowman, and her principal is Julia Lovett. So if you want to come forward. At the middle school level, we also had students to make this distinguished chorus at the state level. Those students are from William Lenore Middle School, and Carla Reed is the music teacher, and Lisa Vaughn is principal. So if you'd like to come up and greet your students. We have 2 7th graders, Blake Flanagan and Terry Campbell. So these are the 2 7th graders. The 8th graders are Addison Dillard, Hadley Nichols, Haley Goebel, Eduardo Gutierrez, Zane Faw, and Jordan Moggan. So this is a huge honor for William Lenore Middle School to have this many students selected for the North Carolina Honors Chorus. A very big deal. So let's then give them another round. Congratulations. We won't make you see. At the 34th Annual Sculpture Celebration sponsored by the Caldwell Arts Council, 2 schools received recognition and an art teacher from West Lenoir Elementary. We would like to congratulate Hudson Elementary for winning the Youth Category People's Choice Award, and the art teacher is Emily Aldico. So Emily is here this evening, so... And if you didn't see this sculpture, it was pretty magnificent. She had tens of thousands of bottle caps. High Brighton High for the Youth Category Judges Choice Award. Art teacher is Jenna Bailey. And I know Mr. Caldwell was also here earlier, and there's Mrs. Bailey. So, yes. West Lenoir art teacher Savannah Tester won a Judge's Merit Award in the Professional Artist category. So, Mrs. Savannah Tester. So, congratulations. Travis Gillespie is her principal, and Jenny McNulty is the proud principal at Hudson Elementary. So, Jenny, you're also welcome to join us. There you go.
Y'all stand in the middle of it.
Yeah. Congratulations. Beautiful art teacher. Now we're going to look to the district, because at the district level we also win awards. And it's an honor tonight to report to you, the Board of Education, that the Caldwell County School System is one of the top school districts across the country. Being recognized by the National Board for Professional Teaching Standards for promoting student learning through accomplished teaching. Caldwell County Schools is one of 81 school districts nationwide recognized as a National Board Accomplished District. Since 1995, the Caldwell County School System has supported 285 of its teachers through the National Board certification process, and currently 169 employees hold this coveted national designation. So we would like to recognize Human Resources for heading up this process in the Caldwell County School System. And the head of Human Resources is Dr. Bill Griffin, Assistant Superintendent of Human Resources. And would also like Heather Poole. She is our National Board Certified Coordinator in the Caldwell County Schools and in this region. So it's unique for our teachers to have her expertise. And she's also a beginning teacher mentor. So congratulations to both of you for reaching national recognition. Oh, pictures. Don't even think you're going to escape. I mean, did you see that?
She was out of here.
Congratulations. We also have an extraordinary finance department, and this is a familiar award. It should never be common, though, because it is an extraordinary accomplishment that the Caldwell County Schools Finance Department has been awarded the Association of School Business Officials International Certificate of Excellence in financial reporting, and the Government Finance Officers Association of the United States and Canada Certificate of Achievement for Excellence in Financial Reporting. Both awards represent the highest forms of recognition in the area of governmental accounting and financial reporting and reflect a significant accomplishment by the Caldwell County School System Finance Department. This is the 17th consecutive year that the school district's finance department has been recognized for its excellent accounting practices. So that definitely deserves school board recognition. Congratulations to the finance department team, who are all sitting over here, and to David Johnson, finance director. So if you want to come up, Mr. Johnson. And I'm going to call each of you and recognize each of your team members. The finance department includes Denise Bolick, accountant. Susan Duncan, payroll deduction specialist. Linda Young, payroll specialist. Jamie Setzer, accounts payable specialist. Sarah Smith, accounts payable specialist. Melinda Mullis, accounts payable specialist. And Michelle Britton, purchasing agent, or purchasing specialist. So very proud of this excellent team. So if you, okay, you know the drill. You've got to get in the center. Thank you.
We know that a good many have already left, but if you want to stick around with us, you're welcome to do so. But if you have other things that you need to do, now would be the appropriate time. Thank you very much for being here. I understand we have 5 students from Mr. Ramsey's class, West Caldwell High School, civics class. 5 right here? All right. Glad to have you. And, okay, very good. We will, if you'd like, at the end of the meeting, we'll take a picture so that we can, so that you can show Mr. Ramsey that you indeed were here. So, anyway, we'll do that in a little bit. We're going to go ahead and move along with the agenda. And as of 3:30 this afternoon, we had no public comment. So we're going to continue. Next is our Assistant Superintendent for Human Resource Services, Dr. Bill Griffin.
Chairman Pennell, Vice Chairman Branch, Dr. Phipps, members of the board, I have before us this evening, beginning with Human Resource Services usual and customary informational items. These items are for your information only. We do not need approval at this time. Do you have any questions about any of those items? And next would be Human Resources usual and customary action items. They're contracts. I respectfully request the submitted items in front of you for your approval, please.
Do I hear a motion that we approve the Human Resource Services usual and customary items for approval as presented by Dr. Griffin?
Chairman Pennell, I move that we approve the usual and customary action items, the contracts as are currently being presented.
Second
This-
the motion.
Okay, any comments or questions? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you very much. Item C is Human Resources, usual and customary action items. That's our substitute teacher list. I respectfully request approval of all items as presented below there.
Do I hear a motion that we approve the human resources, usual and customary items as presented?
Mr. Chair, I'll make a motion that we approve the human resources, usual and customary items as presented.
Second? Anyone? Second? Joe?
Second.
All right. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you very much. And finally, Subject D, October board transfers for 2019-2020. Total transfers requested are 16. Transfers recommending board approval, 16. Total board approval for 1920 school year is 1,788. Transfers that are revoked are 0, and total transfers revoked are 1. I respectfully request approval of the transfers as presented this evening.
Do I hear a motion that we approve the October board transfers for 2019-2020?
I'll make a motion to approve October transfers.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Griffin. Next, Dr. Katrina McKellen, Assistant Superintendent for Educational Program Services.
Good evening, Chairman Pennell, Vice Chairman Branch, members of the board, and Dr. Phipps. Each year, we are required to present to the Board of Education the school improvement plans from each of the 26 schools. What you have in your packet is where they were as of October 4th. And we like to think of the school improvement plans and school improvement in general as continuous improvement. So they will change throughout the year, and that's one of the reasons why we also included logins. We currently keep all of our school improvement plans in NC Star, which is an online platform. So at any point in time, the community, parents, staff, anyone can log in with those logins and see exactly what is in that school improvement plan to be a transparent process. Schools are at different processes, but in the big packet, you at least had the mission, the vision, and the goals, and then any other things that the schools had done thus far this school year. Just a little tidbit, of the 26 schools, there are 99 goals among the 26 schools. They have anywhere from 3 to 6 goals per school. Most of the goals, so 20 of the schools have a growth or proficiency, so we want to increase like our EOC or EOG scores. We want our students to grow. 17 schools have goals associated with the multi-tier system of support, and 14 schools are looking at behavior and social emotional learning. So if you think about the mental health of our students and what we're doing with that. But there are a variety of goals, but we do respectfully request your approval of all of the school improvement plans for the 2019-2020 school year.
Okay, do I hear a motion that we approve the 2019-2020 school improvement plans as presented?
Chairman Pennell, I move that we approve the school improvement plans for 2019-2020 as presented by Dr. McKellen.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any comments or any questions?
Read them all.
Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Thank you, Dr. McKellen. Next on our agenda is our superintendent, Dr. Donald Phipps.
We have a series of policies that are in the policy update program that we have with the School Board Association. There were 40 policies in this initial packet. We have pulled 4 that we've asked our board attorney to review for just questionable, not questionable content. We want to make sure that we had everything nailed down that we needed before we sought your approval. But what I'm asking respectfully tonight is that these policies be put on the 1-month comment period as we look at updates. Some of these have significant changes, some have minor, and 15 of these policies are simply technical corrections. Many of those fall in line with either changes at the State Board of Education or state or federal requirements that we have. But at this point, it's simply seeking the 1-month comment period.
Okay, do I hear a motion that we approve the board policy revisions, those to be placed on a 1-month comment period?
I move that the board policy revisions as presented be placed on a 1-month comment period.
Okay. Is there a second? Any comments or questions? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Anything else, Dr. Phipps?
That's all I have.
All right, the next item is, do I hear a motion that we convene into closed session?
Chairman Pennell, I move that we convene to closed session to discuss personnel matters as listed on the current agenda.
Is there a second?
Second the motion.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. So we will be in closed session. We will expect that there'll be a vote afterwards. So don't think we're going to be too long. So students, just stick around with us. pull this thing in. Okay, we are back in session, and I'm going to turn it over to the superintendent, Dr. Donald Phipps.
I'd like to make a recommendation to the board respectfully seeking approval of Mr. Rob Bliss to fill the vacant principal position at South Caldwell for the remainder of the academic year. That contract period for him would run from October the 28th of this year to June the 30th of 2020. So he would finish out the year in that capacity.
Do I hear a motion that we approve, excuse me, Mr. Rob Bliss to be the principal at South Caldwell from October 28th through June 30 of 2020?
I make a motion, we approve Rob Bliss' effective date at South Caldwell is October 28th through June 30,
2020.
2020.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. You want me to do this thing? Next and last thing on the agenda here is approval of the a change in the board schedule. We are moving October 29, 2019. The school visits that had initially been planned for that date. There was conflicts galore there, so we had to move that to October 22nd, 2019. So that's what we need to do at this point. I need a motion that we approve that change, that revision in our schedule.
Mr. Chair, I make a motion to approve the board schedule revision as presented.
Second?
I second the motion.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right, motion
Chairman
passes.
Pennell, may I ask a question?
Sure.
What time do we anticipate the 22nd ending, the walkthrough ending? Have we ironed that out yet? I know we're going to 4 schools, but do we have?
Somewhere afternoon, but not.
Early, probably early afternoon.
Early, okay. I have to do something in the afternoon, so thank you.
Okay. Okay, we're going to get to y'all in just a second. Do I hear a motion we adjourn?
I make a motion, we adjourn.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. We are adjourned. Now, students, West Caldwell. Any